Do you know ISRO's missions cost less than Hollywood films? The cost to travel to Mars is even lower than producing Bahubali movie. Indian Space Agency being the most economical, NASA with its enormous budget, ESA with multi-country technology, SpaceX with its will to revolutionize space travel has led to the space race. Do you want to know how India could send a rocket to Mars for even lower budget than a movie? How 22 countries together formed a space agency and how NASA has more budget than 50 countries' GDP combined together for its funding? To find out all about this, watch this video carefully till the end. Hello everyone and welcome to another Fandesi video. This video is all about India's pride in the era of space research. It is about the Indian Space Research Organization, also known as ISRO. ISRO is headquartered in Bangalore with an estimated budget of around 11,500 crores. ISRO thus institutionalized space activities in India. It is managed by the Department of Space, which reports to the Prime Minister of India. Before learning about the highlights of ISRO, let's take a look at the history of ISRO. USA and Russia were considered as the space exploration giants in 1950s. India soon realized the importance of space technology in its development, and it decided to go to space when the Indian National Committee for Space Research was set up in 1962 under the guidance of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. Later, an equatorial rocket launching station was set up at Tumba in Kerala for atmospheric research. ISRO was formed in 1969, which replaced the former INCOSPAR. ISRO embarked on its mission to provide the nation with space-based services and to develop the technologies to achieve the same independently. By the end of 1963, India launched the first rocket from Tumba, which marked the beginning of the Indian space program. Later, a satellite telecommunication Earth station was set up in Gujarat as an experiment and a training center for scientists and engineers. And then the first TV program fully dedicated to agriculture, titled Krishi Darshan, was started and actually received a good response. This led to another satellite television experiment, which was hailed as the world's largest sociological experiment during the 1970s. This program covered up to 2 lakh people and also trained 50,000 science teachers in 2,400 villages in 6 states in the span of just 1 year. And in the same year, ISRO achieved a milestone by building its first satellite named after the India's first mathematician Aryabhatta, which was launched by Russia. Rohini became the first satellite placed in the orbit by Indian-made satellite launch vehicle SLV-3. In the year 1984, Intercosmos program by India and Russia reached another milestone as the former Indian Air Force pilot Rakesh Sharma became the first Indian citizen to travel in space. And from there was no turning back. Let's take a look at some highlights over the decade. Do you know which Indian space mission studied the surface of Moon and discovered facts for scientific community across the world? India's first lunar exploration mission, Chandrayaan-1, thrusted into space from Sriharikota to study the Moon's surface and the possibility of existence of water. During the experimental stages of the mission, the international community doubted India's capability, but years later, the achievements overruled everyone's doubts and made India just the 4th country to place its mark on the Moon at an unbelievable cost of 396 crores. The mission was supposed to be operated for 2 years, but it stopped functioning after 312 days. Although the mission ended early, a review by scientists termed that the mission was successful as it had completed 95% of its primary objectives and also concluded that Moon had ice water in shaded regions. Another such project is Mars Orbiter mission, which is also called Mangalyaan. It is a 1.5 meter space probe orbiting Mars and was launched in 2013 and reached the orbit of Mars nearly a year later. This made India the first nation in the world to do so in the first attempt. The mission was to develop technologies for interplanetary missions and explore Mars surface features, mineralogy, and study its atmosphere for methane, CO2, solar winds, and radiation using indigenous instruments. A message was spread on social media that the cost of Mangalyaan was $75 million, which was considerably lower than the budget of Hollywood movie Martian, which was around $108 million. Mission Shakti is the first anti-satellite mission of India. India is the fourth country to achieve this feat along with China, USA and Russia. This mission used low Earth orbiter satellites for telecommunication, which move at extremely high speeds and are not fixed in space in relation to Earth. Mission Shakti was a highly complex one, conducted at extremely high speed and remarkable precision. It shows the dexterity of India's outstanding scientists and the success of our space program. Apart from growing in advanced capabilities, ISRO has contributed to science and education in India. Today, various research centers and institutions function under the umbrella of ISRO, thus standing to its vision, harness space technology for national development while pursuing space science research and planetary exploration. Today, ISRO has completed 103 spacecraft missions, 72 launch missions, 10 satellites, 2 re-entry missions, and placement of 269 foreign satellites from 32 countries in Earth's orbit. Now, let's take a look at who are the competitors of ISRO. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or better known as NASA, is an independent agency of the United States federal government responsible for civilian space program as well as aeronautics and aerospace research. NASA was first established in 1958. It is also the largest space program in the world. China National Space Administration, or CNSA, is the space program of China. It is responsible for the national space program and for planning and development of space activities. CNSA has done several manned space launches. It became the third country to make a soft landing on the moon. Main purpose was to deploy a moon rover named U2 to observe the moon with cameras and robotic tools. China has sent other satellites to the moon too, but they only orbit around it. This accomplishment means the CNSA will be able to start bigger and better things, thus giving tough competition to ISRO. The European Space Agency, ESA, is an intergovernmental organization of 22 member states dedicated to the exploration of space. Established in 1975 and headquartered in Paris, ESA's large focus in the next few years will be the EXOMARS mission, which it is doing in partnership with Russia. SpaceX is a private American aerospace manufacturing company headquartered in California. SpaceX and ISRO are competitors of sorts in the business of commercial satellite launches. SpaceX is the only private company to return a spacecraft from low orbit Earth. SpaceX is headed by the entrepreneur Elon Musk, has succeeded to make history by recycling a rocket that it had previously launched. ISRO is about to launch mission Cartosat 3 to augment data services to the users, and in the same month, mission NEMO-AM, nano satellite for Earth monitoring and observation, is about to launch for the purpose of aerosol monitoring. Chandrayaan-2 mission is getting set to observe the lunar surface and to send back the data for analysis of lunar soil. In 2022, Ganyaan, India's first manned space flight, will send 3 humans into space for 5 to 7 days, and the spacecraft will be placed in a low Earth orbit of 300 to 400 km from the Earth's surface. Future readiness is the key to maintaining an edge in technology, and ISRO endeavors to optimize and enhance its technologies as the needs and ambitions of the countries evolve. Thus, ISRO is moving forward with development of heavy lift launchers, human spaceflight projects, reusable launch vehicles, semi-cryogenic engines, single and 2 stages to orbit vehicles, development and use of composite materials for space applications, and another ambitious project for Venus. That is all for today's video, and I hope you really learned a lot about ISRO. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you loved it, and also don't forget to subscribe to see more interesting videos like this. And if you have any suggestions for us at all, just let us know in the comment section, and honestly, just share it with everybody you know, because we need to know about our own space research organization.